So, today we're discussing why women are now becoming extremely frustrated in Western society as more men walk away. We have a video from Soraya, and she's going to basically go into a lot of this and show some illustrations of why men are walking away and why women are so peeved about this. Watching this video to fully understand the full implications of men avoiding relationships in Western society and going overseas to find love, marriage, and happiness. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Soraya's channel will be linked in the description so you can go and check her out and support her.
I know some women feel like I'm stepping on their toes with the content that I am creating, but guess what? You're going to have to sit Indian style because I am going to continue to speak about the things that I speak about. I'm going to continue to reveal the truth because the truth will set you free. The truth will humble you real quick, and the truth will make you learn. And on top of that, the truth will tell you about your real worth. So today I want to talk about the question, should women lower their standards when it comes to dating men? Let me know what you think in the comment section, but before we get into today's video, I would like to welcome you to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for your support. And everyone have a great start into the new week. Make sure you stay safe, blessed, hydrated, and don't let no one get on your nerves. Let's go.
Okay, let's start over here. Why do we end up popping Tony's?
That was kind of boring. It wasn't nothing like more.
Wait,
Just
what was
like I
boring?
just drive trucks.
I mean, you asked what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, nothing against it. I definitely appreciate it, but like for me, that's not for me.
If that man would have been the truck driver with a load full of wigs, and if it wouldn't have made it on time, maybe she would have been in trouble coming to the show today. I'm just saying, no shade. Here's the thing about it. She asked him a question and she says, what do you do for work? And he says, I'm a truck driver. What did she expect? What did she expect him to say? And that's a huge problem. A woman will turn you down just because of the simple fact that she is bored of the things that you told her. What does that tell you about a woman? That she wants to be entertained. You got to entertain her every day, all day. And if you don't pay enough attention to her, she will go get entertained by some other guy who is more entertaining. You got to listen to these women when they talk to you, and they will reveal a lot of information about them. She wouldn't even be able to answer the question properly when he said, okay, that was the questions that you asked me. What was so boring about it? In my humble opinion, truck drivers are very much needed.
Oh, nothing against it. I definitely appreciate it, but like for me, that's not for me.
I get it. You young, so
like,
I understand.
I am young, and it's kind of like boring.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm here now, but I'm still gonna grow.
Absolutely.
And that's just
It's not your speed.
just
It's
hearing
okay.
just hearing that from with nothing else, no context, nothing else to it. It's just
And what type of context you look for when you ask?
he said. So he said what he's into now, and then he also went like, okay, but I have these goals and aspirations.
But that's not what you asked. You asked, what do you do for work?
Yeah, that's what
And
you
I told
do.
you what I do for work.
What they do currently is okay because they're bosses. I like a boss stature. Not saying that
Okay,
you're not
so
a boss. I like
you a
to
gold
somebody
digger,
who
pretty
calls the
much.
shots.
You a
No.
gold digger?
I like somebody who can lead me because I call shots. I need somebody who can call my shots as well. Not saying that you can't. Just like off the response you gave, it wasn't like you can handle me.
Okay.
I know me, so
Okay.
Shit,
Nothing against
everybody's
you.
entitled to their own opinion. You feel like I can't handle you, then I can't handle you.
All right, let's go back over.
So what she's basically telling the man is, you couldn't have been an owner-operator. You couldn't have had your own trucking company. So they just label you as this boring truck driver, and then they just continue to move on. When she's the one that clearly has no idea what she's talking about, because when he said, what don't you like about it? She couldn't answer. And then she goes ahead and says, I'm here now, but I'm going to grow and I am young. But what does that have to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. And then she goes ahead and says, I know me. You can't handle me. So basically, she's absolutely not giving any context to something that she has started talking about. And he's just over there continuously asking the questions that needed to be asked. But a lot of these women are not ready for a man who knows how to ask the right questions at the right time. Because her answers didn't even match the questions that this young guy was asking her. You're talking about you can't be handled? No woman should ask you to handle her.
Name 5 things that you have to offer a man.
Nothing, 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 and nothing.
You ate with that one.
And you see, gentlemen, this is the perfect example of why guys say, give a woman enough time and she will tell on herself. Modern women have absolutely nothing to offer men. Nothing whatsoever. And this is the reason why men are going overseas to find women who are fit, feminine, and friendly. But not only are they going over there to find women who are fit, feminine, and friendly, they're also going over there to find women who are, just not going to bring them to a point of chaos and destruction. They also are going over there to find their peace. They're walking away from Western society that has become extremely toxic. We live in a very feminized society, but even though it's very feminized, the people around us have very masculine energy. There's no other country than, that has more feminine, more masculine women than in Western society, and specifically in the United States. And of course, these women take pride in their masculinity as they demonize men for having any shred of masculinity. I've said this plenty of times that we live in a country where these people do not like us. All right? They do not like us. They do not want us. They basically despise the fact that we even exist. And guys have to wake up to this fact. All right? This is the reason why we always preach, go where you are appreciated, go where you are celebrated. These people do not like us. They do not want us here. And I know many of you are like, well, this is my country and I'm not going anywhere. They can't force me to leave. I understand that. But you have to wake up and be mindful. There's some of you guys that are still running around, going on dates, having relationships in the United States. And I'm thinking to myself, are you guys out of your damn minds? And you're still going out there, you're still smashing, and you're still boasting about it online. Yeah, I'm out there, I'm smashing, I'm having a good time. And the thing that you don't understand is it doesn't take much for something to go wrong. It doesn't take much for her to poke holes in the condom. It doesn't take much for her to say that something happened when it did not happen. Many of you are thinking with your little guy right now. You're not thinking about your future properly. Because the thing is that if you ever become something in this world, all right, and they find out, they're going to come for you. Because extremely hard times are coming for women in Western society. You have them crying on social media, crying about inflation, crying about how hard life is, crying and saying that they cannot survive, saying that they want a man. All right? A lot of the same women who are fronting and acting like they don't need a man and they don't this and that, they are basically lying. And every so often you'll see a woman come out and say that, I'm going to be here and I'm going to pretend and act like, everything is wonderful and I can do bad all on my own. But the reality is that I can't. I'm going to post all these videos on social media to make myself look like the Pink Power Ranger. But the reality is that I'm suffering, I'm struggling. I would much rather have a man to do these things for me. I don't know, guys. It's a very sad reality. And women did this to themselves. They put themselves in this situation, and men are now responding. Women will never fully understand they don't fully understand the response that they are going to get from men as a result of what they did with women's empowerment. Okay? There's a yin and a yang, all right? And the pendulum swang very far left. Don't think that it's just going to swing right again and everything is going to be fixed. It's not that. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Or we're going to just settle in this, we're just going to settle in the center. No, it's a combination of crappery. And ultimately it'll take, society is not going to collapse. Groups of people in society are going to collapse. And only after there's a lot of poverty, a lot of destitution, a lot of hardship, can we experience somewhat of a reset. Basically it's kind of like a great reset. And it's messed up to call it that, but that's kind of what it is. It's going to be very much a great reset, because a lot of the standards of living that people have become accustomed to, and now it makes it seem like this is all being done by design, are going to go away. We're going to be divided very much into a societies of the haves and have-nots, even greater than they are now. And many people will absolutely own nothing, and they will be told to be happy. It's absolutely insane. Like, it's literally like this is being done by design. And you have to understand, there's nothing new being done that hasn't been done already under the sun. Modern women truly don't understand the concept of consequences. They do everything to avoid consequences, and more so, they do everything to avoid accountability. But the more you try to kick the can down the road, the harder it's going to be when you run out of pavement, and now you're finally going to have to pay the piper.
Love, peace, quiet, booty, and respect could have been her answer, but since she is young, out with her friends, has no guidance, doesn't know anything about being in a healthy relationship, and she's being in them streets and probably all over social media with a whole bunch of simps in her DMs, she says nothing, 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 and nothing. You're saying that now. You're saying that now. I was 25 before. I was in them streets before. I'm not going to lie. Yes, I was out partying too, but not what these young women are doing today. It was a whole different story. But back to the topic. Once you get a certain age, and I'm telling you, ladies, if you hear me, listen to me. There are changes coming overnight. Your body is literally changing overnight. Your emotions take over you out of nowhere. Your hair may start falling out. Your skin starts changing. What I'm trying to say here is if you are doing dumb shit while your sexual marketplace value is on its highest peak, and then you're getting older, probably stuck with 2 to 3 kids, you are not going to be high commodity anymore. Nobody is going to be checking for you anymore. Your chances of being able to be with a decent guy that has a stable job is basically all the way down here. Because a lot of women are always talking about that they are single by choice, but I don't buy it. If you ladies are single by choice, if your career is so good, if you feel so fulfilled, happy and content, why are so many of you inside of your car breaking down in tears that you are sick and tired of being single, of having to be so masculine, that you don't want to have your guard up anymore, that you can't pay your bills anymore? Why not know how to act and behave properly at a certain time during your life?
Your future husband is never going to be the guy who leaves you writing paragraphs in your notes app. Your future husband is never going to be the guy who makes you feel like you're asking for too much. Your future husband is never going to be the guy who walked away and made it seem like your needs were crazy. Your future husband is never going to be the guy who makes you feel worse about yourself.
If you are thinking like this, you are always going to be debating and talking and dreaming about your future husband, because that husband is going to only exist in your dreams. When my husband and I got into an argument, into a fight, I ended up writing paragraphs into my diary. Why? Because I was reflecting. And a lot of times I was the one actually picking the fight. I was the one not feeling comfortable. I was the one that was mad at something else. I was the one that was on her period, just picking a fight with a man or just having a smart mouth. I mean, I'm always talking about relationships, but that doesn't mean that my relationship is perfect. I'm just over here trying to tell you that a lot of times when these modern women are out here on social media giving you advice, that advice is really no good for you. You cannot sit there and expect your man, your husband, to do all of these things for you, and then you turn around and you're talking about you're not going to bring nothing to the table. She said that your future husband is not going to make you feel like your needs are crazy. But a lot of women are crazy. Let's be honest. A lot of expectations that women have are unrealistic. So how is a man ever supposed to fulfill your needs? He can't. It's impossible. If you have women out here that already have a list like this long and are always adding more criteria on top of their list, that man is never gonna be in their lives. Everybody gets that, but these women don't. And another thing is, she said that a man will never make you feel worse about yourself, meaning translating into, I'm feeling bad about myself. You feeling bad about yourself doesn't mean that the man has to make you feel better about yourself. Because if you continuously feel bad about you, the man can do whatever he wants, break his neck. You will never feel good about yourself.
Women who out here, I know a couple that's out here, y'all popping them out like hotcakes. Just remember, one day you're going to be my age. I'm 29. She's 20, how are you, 26? She's 26. One day you're going to be our age. And the more kids you keep popping out, the more kids you're going to keep accumulating, which means the more kids you're going to want some man to accept as his own. Let's be for fucking real. And if you already know how hard it is to date with kids, you already can't find a babysitter. You already missing days of work. You already don't have money for yourself. You already calling out. You already don't have your hair done. Your nails never done. You always walking around here looking how you looking because you got to take care of this kid. Or you might be the other kind of parent who look good and your kid look a fucking hot mess because you trying to keep up your image so you can be able to entertain whoever it is you trying to entertain. Take into consideration that it costs nothing to get on fucking birth control.
Absolutely agreed, and there's nothing else that I can add to everything that this young woman just has said. Look, if you don't want to listen to me, make sure you go ahead and listen to women like her, because I have seen it way too many times. I have heard it way too many times. Women who got married, got their children, decided to leave their marriage because of their own happiness that they just didn't find anymore in this man. Now they have no man.
And you know what's so interesting about this? You have a lot of these women who they left their husbands. They had great husbands, they had great relationships, and they said that, you know what, I'm gonna go out there into the streets. I'm gonna return to the streets from whence I came. I'm gonna leave my husband because there's something better for me. I'm gonna leave my family. And then what ends up happening? They find themselves back in the streets at an old age, and there's nothing out there for them. And they basically stay out there, and they basically face heightened levels of destitution and despair. And then later on, what do they turn around and say? They basically go, my feelings, I listened to my feelings and my feelings betrayed me. And the reality is basically you were greedy. Okay? You got bored, you were in a very good marriage, you had everything that you wanted, and you felt like you were suffocating. You felt like the world was coming to an end because you needed excitement, all right? Slap it to a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, y'all remember those? Was it like Macho Man Randy Savage used to say that in those commercials? So these women, they wanted excitement. They wanted fun, and they wanted the streets. And they leave their marriages, they jump into these relationships with a bunch of good for nothing guys. Sometimes they're out there, hooking up with the young guys, hooking up with Chad, hooking up with Tyrone, Little Pancho, and Sancho, and they think that they're having the time of their life. They feel like they're high value because you have to think about it. They have masculine energy. So when they go out there into the streets, they feel like they're valuable because they're able to find all of these men that want to be with them. Young men, old men, every variety of man. And they're like, I must be a really high value woman. For example, you have a woman who she's not, for example, she doesn't go to the gym. She has like, she has like the stomach that's like protruding and everything, and she's not in shape. And yet there's a lot of men who are even fit, go to the gym, work out, that are basically should be out of her league, and she's still able to get with these guys because the truth of the matter is that in Western society, men are treated so poorly that a lot of guys develop a scarcity mindset where they're willing to accept much less. They're not going to find someone who is their equal or even in their same radius. They're going to take someone who is below them, someone who is pudgy, someone who doesn't go to the gym, someone who has no money, someone who has no value. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then as a result, the standards for all men falls. The standards for all men ultimately goes down because the average man is willing to accept nothing. The average man is willing to accept what is ultimately terrible. It's not good for him, it's not good for anyone. Something I do want to point out to you guys, by the way, also is I'm using timestamps in the videos now. So I'm putting in timestamps. If you go down to the description, you can go into the description. You can actually jump through the video. You don't have to worry anymore, like, oh my gosh, because I know I'm making 1 hour videos now, and I realize that can stress a lot of you out. So now I'm putting timestamps in where they basically it'll take you through all the different topics in the video, and you can just jump through that. So let me know if that's something that you enjoy, something that you want me to continue doing, putting timestamps in the videos. So far it doesn't seem very hard for me to do. It's relatively straightforward, so I think I should be able to do it for every video going forward. That's what I'm going to try my best to do. So let me know if you're enjoying the timestamps and if you want me to continue putting those timestamps in the videos. I don't know, guys. Society is basically designed for men to fail. Men, society is designed for men to fail. Men basically have lost everything. Men have this is a society that does not like you. It does not want you to succeed. It does not want you to thrive as a man, because the better you do, the more difficult it is to take over society and do whatever the hell they want to. And that's really all it comes down to. The powers that be, tyranny. Tyranny cannot reign freely when you have a country filled with strong men. So you need a country filled with men who are lazy, fat, stupid, demoralized. That's why they keep on pushing adult content. That's why adult content is everywhere, because it's very damaging to men. And don't get me wrong, it damages women as well, but it damages men more. One of the core reasons why it's so damaging to men is because men often have no other outlet. While women are able to go and engage in relationships with men, you know, it's on a more regular basis. And I'm not saying hookup culture is a good thing. Basically, for most men, their only outlet for decades is going to be adult content. And it's problematic because it's now everywhere and it's bombarding, it's in their faces. And to be clear with you, when I say adult content, I'm not simply talking about Only Fools, Lonely Fans, and Corn on things like the Hub. No, I'm talking about you essentially, and I think that it's actually worse, the stuff that we have on Instagram, like that garbage on Instagram, things on YouTube where you've got these people in bikinis and scantily clad. You are bombarded with this garbage on a daily basis. Back when I was growing up, well, I shouldn't say when I was growing up. By the time the internet started to really take off, I was already a young adult. But back in those days, back in the early days of the internet, you know, you basically had, that was the only thing, was like you'd go online if you wanted to see something, and then that was it. And that was it. And you weren't constantly looking at this stuff. Now, because of Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, it's constantly in your face. You're constantly seeing these scantily clad individuals, low cut shirts and everything. It's sick. It's really really sick, and it's like it's just very frustrating, because it's like it's constantly like raising like putting your body and your mind in like this in a different state. It's a war. It is 100% a war on the minds of men. It is 100% a war on men in general. Like I said, this is a society that is designed to destroy us, because it absolutely hates us. We are not liked. We are hated more than the cockroach in Western society, and that's why they're doing these things to us, because they want to keep us fat. They want to keep us they want to keep us lazy. They want to keep us stupid. They want to keep us demoralized so they can do whatever they want. And modern women operate as agents of the state. So they are facilitators of this. And they are rewarded for reallocating wealth and resources from men and to the state. They are rewarded for helping to keep men fat, lazy, stupid, demoralized, complacent, so that they do not stand up to tyranny, and they allow tyranny to do anything that to reign. They do not stand up to the state, and they allow the state to do anything that it wants to. But the thing is that women don't understand. As soon as men are pacified, as soon as men are basically out of the equation, the state's like, okay, well, we're in a good place right now. They'll take away their right. They'll take away rights from women, and they're not rights; they're privileges. Because right now, women have special privileges, while men have special punishments. But women don't understand that those things can be gone in a heartbeat. And for men have to fight and survive and strive for it. You might have to fight for everything. Hence, we have to succeed if we want to survive. Women, on the other hand, they don't know anything about that. Basically, they're eating off someone else's plate. They're having someone else do it for them. They're used to having someone else provide for them over the course of their entire lives. So the very notion that the state is no longer going to provide for them is completely abstract. And then when you're talking about simps, the simp economy is still going strong, but the simp economy is moving overseas. These simps, and this is something that a YouTuber named the Straight Shooter said, these simps, they don't have enough money to be some woman's come up. The average simp, just because he's dropping some cash on OnlyFools and LonelyFans, doesn't mean that he's rolling in money. It absolutely does not.
No, man, because these men are clearly communicating, look, I want you, but I don't want your kids. Can I come around whenever I want to, or do I have to wait till your kids go to sleep? And then the mother is like, no, I am not ready for my kids to meet you, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I just want to put an emphasis on how hard it is for women out here to date when they have kids. Because only a few men on this planet are willing to take care of another man's child. And I can't blame them. I really cannot. So instead of popping out babies, get on birth control. But it seems like that there is a shift happening amongst women who think that their standards are fine even though they are way too high. But then they also come to the conclusion that men are not approaching them anymore. They're not approaching them because they're sick and tired of the rejection. They're not approaching them because these women are just too much to handle. Men are sick and tired of approaching women they already know. Their standards are going to be way too high. They're going to be way too stuck up. They're going to always be hit with the, oh, you're not a man, you don't make six figures, you are not 6 feet tall, and all of these things. So now women are wondering why they're not being approached anymore and what they have to do in order to get in contact with men. Let's listen to this young lady.
Am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am? Am I looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it? So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place and then I make the decision to go up to you? How do I know I won't face rejection? So can I get some tips and tricks, some advice on how to approach a man that I think is cute? Because I have no idea how to. Like, I'm scared and I feel like I can only approach men if I'm drunk, which is not often.
Thank you so much, honey, for setting an example for what women need to do more often. Us women need to walk in a man's shoes. Us women need to try to think like a man and how he may feel when we behave a certain way, when we react a certain way, when we respond a certain way to certain situations. So if this woman would have not been approached, just like many other women nowadays, because of certain things, then she would have never sat down and asked herself, what is it? What may be the reason? Now I have to be the one approaching men. What do I have to do? What will I do if I'm being rejected? You know, so many men are so sick and tired of approaching women because they're just so sick and tired of the constant rejection. And they feel as though there are so many other women in other countries just as beautiful, but a lot less delusional and a lot less to have to handle. So ladies, walk in a man's shoes. Try to understand that man. Because if you are young and you are thinking you're unapproachable because you work, you pay your bills, you drive a car, you know how to breathe, you know how to walk, you know how to do all of these things since you are a strong, independent woman, then one day you're going to wake up and maybe talk like this one.
I'm not playing with you. I want my eggs cracked, meaning I want a child. I want my name dropped, meaning I want to be married. I'm not around with you.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen if you think that you're so young, you're this shit, you're all of that, you got all of these celebrities in your DM, so the average working class guy is not good enough for you. You're going to realize sooner or later that your biological clock is tick, 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 ticking until you boom, hit the wall, and then it's going to be too late. And now you want to put all the pressure on the men because you have all of these things that you haven't done yet, such as getting engaged, getting married, having kids, doing all of these things. But all men are like, wait a minute, I'm good. I don't want this. I don't want this. So ladies, stop having such high standards for these men. Or just make a list. Make a list of your standards and then a list of what you actually can bring into a man's life as far as benefit. And then see if your list right here is justified or not. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And again, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, for hitting the like button, for leaving a comment, or maybe even two if you feel like it. Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and especially those people who you think need to learn from you and I. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. Stay blessed. And of course, stay tuned for more content.
And Soraya does make a very good point here. You see, there's always going to be men who will say, sure, I'll happily jump into a physical relationship with a woman who looks good, but I do not want to be in a long-term relationship in terms of taking care of her kids, raising her kids, being the father to those kids. Those are not my kids. And realistically, she doesn't even want to be intimate with these men. She's just looking for an outlet. She's looking for basically a plan B guy to step up and take care of the children of Chad, Tyrone, Ray Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Quan, Little Pancho, and Sancho. These very toxic individuals. These are men that basically they didn't have to work at all. They didn't have to do anything at all to get access to her flower, and she gave it away for free. She gave it away deliberately because she wanted to have children with these men, but now she's looking for a man to raise the children off these men and then turn around and tell them that they are lucky to be able to raise another man's children and subsidize to subsidize the livelihood of both her and these children. It's a load of absolute and total BS. Okay? Men have been gaslit so hard, it's ridiculous. They have pulled the wool over our eyes and told us that we need to like it. And that's a load of hooey. Okay? Men should not be settling for second fiddle. Men should not be settling for less. Men, as a man, you are worth something. God did not put you here to be someone's come up, to be someone's slave, to be someone's servant, to be someone's serf. All right? That's not why God put you here. You have modern women saying that, if you're ladies, only date a man only date a man and be in a relationship with a man who worships you, who will kneel before you, who will kiss the ground that you walk on, like who will treat you like a goddess. Get the hell out of here. We already, guys, I told you the great V collapse, the great collapse of the golden V is coming. The great collapse of the golden V. Okay, what happened to the children of Israel? God did everything for these people, and what did they do? They still turned around, created a golden calf, and began worshiping the damn golden calf. The golden calf was money. Okay, meaning that they would choose money over God. That's how these people think. All right, and a lot of modern women, they really don't want you. They just want their bag. They do not want you. They just want their bag. They just want to get their bag. Let me tell you something. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And what's going to happen is a lot of these women are now going to fall from grace. They're 100% going to fall from grace, and they're going to find themselves in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution. And they're thinking that they're going to have some man. They're going to have a man come and bail them out. And it's not going to happen. It's absolutely not going to happen. They're not going, no one is going to bail them out. They made these decisions for themselves. They chose to go down. They chose to go down this road. They said, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to live this life. I'm about that life. Well, now you're about that life. Be about that life, but also be about those consequences. That's one thing that women really hate. Women hate consequences. They do not like consequences. They do not like facing accountability for the choices that they've made and decisions that they've made. It's something that they absolutely despise. But guess what? It's not going, guys, they're not going to get away with it this time. All right? Because men are not going to be there to pick them up. Men are not going to be there to catch them. It's not going to happen. Women are going to basically be held accountable by just by the very virtue of reality. Okay? It's the truth. They chose this life. They said they wanted to be independent. And now they're going to find that independence. I don't know. They chose this, guys. They chose this. Life is hard. Life is very, very hard. It's not easy. And you have to be mindful of this. And there's such a thing as karma. There's such a thing as bad karma. There's such a thing as bad karma. And women have basically brought a lot of bad karma. They've brought a lot of bad karma onto themselves. And they brought it there because of poor choices. They brought it there because they said that Men, we don't need you. We could do everything, but they've always needed us, and they will always need us. Women will always need men. They will always need men to be there. They will all because guys, men built society. We are the guardians of the galaxy. Okay, we hold guys. We hold this. God is the creator of all. God is good. God is great. But He put us here, and He tasked us to work and to labor. Okay, and we've done just that. All right, everything around us. A man has had to transform everything using his own two hands. And women, do women appreciate it? Hell no. They think it's all owed to them. They think that guys, they're trying to literally rewrite rewrite the world, rewrite history in their own image. Take credit for things that they did not do. Take credit for things they were not involved in, because that's just how they feel. They feel like they are entitled to everything that men have done. All right, because guys, it's jealousy. You have to understand that the women who pioneered feminism did not exploit women. Women fully exploited feminism. They used it. They used the concept of equality between men and women to get what they wanted, to basically basically go thermo on men and on men in relationships and dating. They have never liked us. They have never ever liked us. They've always despised us and wanted what we have. Okay? And the thing is that they will never feel equal, guys. They will never be equal to us because they will never feel equal to us. It's not about statistics. It's not about facts, all right? Because it doesn't matter if men and women if women are doing better than men financially. It doesn't matter if women have more than men. The fact of the matter is, if they don't feel it, if they don't feel like they have more, if they don't feel equal, then they'll simply say that they're not equal, because it's all based on feelings, and they choose the feelings that they want to adhere to. That's how women operate. That's how women think. And this is the reason why men are so tired. Men are very much awake to all of this crap. Men are increasingly awake to the bullshit. Okay? And they don't want to deal with it anymore. They don't want to put up with it anymore, because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time arguing with a woman. It's a waste of time getting stressed out over what a woman says and over what a woman does. It's a complete waste of time. It drains our energy. It drains us mentally. It drains us. It drains us cognitively. It drains us physically. It's a complete and utter waste. It's a complete and utter waste. And that's the reason why so many guys, basically are waking up and realizing it's not worth getting into an argument with a woman. Never ever get that's the saying. Never ever get into an argument with a woman, because you will always lose. You're not arguing if you try to argue with a woman, you have to remember at all given times, you are not arguing against facts. You're arguing with feelings, okay? You're not fighting her facts with facts. You're fighting her feelings with facts, and her feelings will always win, because they are based centrally around how she feels and how she believes things should be, not how they are. So you will never win an argument with a woman. It's impossible. And they can keep on going. You have to remember that they thrive in chaos. They want you to argue, because the more you argue with them, the more they conclude, the more it tells them that you actually care about them. Okay? Because if you didn't care about them at all, you wouldn't even waste your time arguing with them. It's true. Like, when you're indifferent to someone or something, you could care if it's here or there. You could care if it lives or if it doesn't. That's honest to goodness truth. So when women are able to get you to actually argue with them, it basically conveys to them that you still care about them in some way. You have to remember that there's a very thin line between love and hate. And women are well aware of this. Okay? They enjoy driving men to a point of madness and near insanity. It's just something about women. Okay? And that's why as men, we have to learn control. We have to learn self-control. Guys, being able to control your emotions is a superpower for men. It is a superpower. It's something that women have absolute difficulty doing, but it's something that us as men, we can master this. It's an amazing skill set. Absolutely amazing skill set. But you have to flex those muscles. You have to 100% flex those muscles, or and you have to practice it on a regular basis. And once you practice it, when you begin practicing it, you will begin to you'll begin to really enjoy you'll begin to really enjoy yourself more. All right, because it gives you a sense of self-control that that makes you feel better about yourself, makes you feel happier. You know, it removes stress in your life once you're able to maintain self-control. And a part of it is learning how to be alone. We have another video from Soraya. We're going to go ahead and jump into this because she basically continues the points that she illustrated earlier. So it's something that we all have to be mindful of.
Today, I want to talk to you guys about the two most important things when it comes to being in a relationship. One is trust, the other one is love. Without trust, there will never be love. How do you know that you can trust someone? When that person is there for you at all times, when that person has accepted you for who you are, when that person can pick up your slack when you cannot do it on your own. How do you know that you can trust the person? When you're telling him your business and it stays amongst you two. What a lot of people have a problem with nowadays, I believe they don't even trust themselves anymore. That's why they have such a problem with trusting the other person. People have been hurt. People have been disappointed. People have been betrayed, got cheated on, all of these things. But that's the past. What you can do with those situations is learn from them, do better. But a lot of people go right back to the same toxic person because that's what they are used to. People are used to toxicity. People are used to experience the same emotions, the same feelings, having the same thoughts all over again because they do not change themselves. So what happens is, if they don't change their mindset, if they don't change their actions, they're continuously going to get the same result. Today, I want to present to you a couple of videos. As we always do, we talk about videos where women play with a man's trust in the worst way possible.
Get ready with me to tell my deployed fiance that I'm pregnant. My fiance has been deployed for 6 months and my period is 2 weeks late. At this point, you really could just do the math yourself. And honestly, he can't blame anyone but himself. When we first started dating, he didn't say anything to me about joining the army. Had I known that, I probably wouldn't have took him serious.
What that woman just said right there proves to me that she is weak. And I'm going to have to say a lot of women nowadays are weak because women are the ones who file for divorce first. Women are the ones who step outside of their relationship first. Women are the ones who have babies with other men but tell the man that they are with that he's the baby daddy. Those are just some examples. And I am not a woman hater. I have nothing against women. But the proof is in the pudding. So why not talk about the issue when the issue are the women? We're going to have to address the issue so we can fix the problem. But that's going to happen only if women are willing to change. So do you think it is right for this lady to say, oh, my fiance, he is deployed, but me being pregnant is actually his fault? You know, it takes a really strong woman to be in a long distance relationship. I was in a long distance relationship with my husband. It takes us so much power, mental power, emotional power, physical power. And still you have to have trust in order for you to build that love that you have as a goal in that relationship. But let's continue. Let's listen to what else she has to say.
I'm not trying to put the blame on him here, but I don't know what he's doing in Germany. Like, did he really expect me to sit around and wait for him? The only reason I said yes in the first place was because I thought we were going to get married before he left. But obviously, this was all just a test from him. But the joke is on him. And to be honest, the only reason I feel bad is because I got caught. I don't know what he's doing.
Thank God he didn't marry her, because what would have changed it? That's how you know that some women just really don't know how to think rationally. She said, oh, we were supposed to get married before he actually got sent to Germany. But honey, that doesn't change anything. Even if you was to get married, he still would have went to Germany. You still would have been there by yourself. You still would have opened your legs. You still would have get pregnant by some other man because you got that in you.
I don't know what he's doing, but I also don't have any proof. But unfortunately for me, my proof is right inside of me. I could just take care of it and not tell him, but I haven't made a decision quite yet. Maybe this is just part of our story. So I'll just have to convince him of that. Like Medea says, get them before you get got. And that's exactly what I did. There's honestly no telling the news he's gonna have for me today. But whatever it is, I'm gonna make sure he tells me first. The question is, am I wrong for what I did? Do you think that you could have possibly made the same mistake? You probably don't know what you would do in this situation because you don't even have a man. Anyways, wish me luck down below.
Honestly, guys, I wish a lot of luck to the man who decides to be with a woman like this. Besides that, the skin tone of your fingers really does not match your face anymore because of all of the paint that you have applied. You're going to have to do a little bit of adjustment there. Just saying. And also, she's telling other women that they don't even have a man, and not even knowing that she's about to be single herself. Her fiance is not going to stay with her. The man who impregnated her is not going to stay with her either, because no man is going to stay with a woman who has been cheating on her current man. You understand? That's what a lot of women don't get. They just be so caught up in their emotions. They just be so happy that there's somebody giving the attention that their current partner didn't give to them. But here's the thing. If you're cheating on your current man, the man that you are cheating with is probably going to think that you're going to do the same thing to him. So you're about to be a single mom. See, everyone, the problem is that a lot of men are ready to provide. Just like the gentleman from this video. He's out here in Germany serving the country, and she has nothing else better to do than being a modern Western woman. Just thinking about herself. Thinking about herself, not even her man. And that's when I say love. Love is also support. If you cannot support your man or your partner while you guys are in the situation, because life continuously throws situations at us, what are you going to do with that type of partner? If you cannot sit down and say a prayer for your partner because you are concerned, because you care, because you love, because you have empathy, if you cannot say a prayer for your partner, what do I want with a partner like that? You know, I know that trust comes before love, because only actions of trust will build love.
I want to know, why do women find it disrespectful when a man asks for a DNA test?
I don't know.
Right. Why is that
I don't
disrespectful?
know. You about to hit me with the 1 point on a pick me because I don't know. I really don't
Why
get
is
it.
that disrespectful?
I really don't get it. I think it should be a requirement because I feel bad for men that are raising children and don't know that's not their kid.
Absolutely agreed. It should be a requirement because it's not only sad that a man is raising a child not even knowing it's not his, it is disrespectful. And honestly, I'm a woman myself. If I don't have anything to hide from my man, I wouldn't have a problem with whatever he is suggesting. So if he wants to have a DNA test, let's go get one. Matter of fact, let's get 2 just to be on the safe side. I'm a woman myself. So don't even be out there telling me, oh no, it is disrespectful for a man to require a DNA test. Like the man doesn't have any emotions. Like the man does not get attached to the child that he's helping the woman to raise. Like that man doesn't have any feelings. And I want to ask you another thing. How much audacity does it take for a woman to run around with another man's baby in her belly, looking her man right into his eyes and making plans for the future to raise their child, knowing that it's not his child? That really makes me think. You have to think of the amount of, I don't even have a word for that. I don't even have a word for a woman who sits down pregnant with another man's child in her belly, but telling her man, oh baby, we're gonna have a beautiful family. And if you think I am wrong about my statement when I say that women are the ones who are stepping out of their relationship a lot more often than men, explain Maury to me. How did Maury detect and his team detect that so many babies didn't belong to the men that these women went to the show with? How do you explain that?
Are not When it comes to 2-year-old Serenity, Alfonso, you are not. In the case of 4-month-old Royal, Harold, you are not.
Money so you go find you another baby daddy. Here, take $5. Come on.
That's what you get.
Hold it, Brandon. In the case of 4-year-old Brandon, Gary, you are not. case of 3-year-old Kalia Quay.
It's not the father. Girl, shut up. It's not the father.
You are not the father.
Best way to get a man is if you keep men in rotation. It's just like a job. It's easier to get a job if you already have a job, right? Same thing with energy with men. If you are looking for a relationship, or if you want to be in one, it's important for you to be dating multiple people, or for you to be dating another person, so that that energy is flowing, so that the person that you actually want to be with can feel, oh, she has options. She's not desperate. She is a high value woman. Don't think that just by being single and not having nobody that you're just being super available and that's attractive. It's not. A man only was going to want you if he knows that other men want you.
As the great Kevin Samuels said, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. And if you're a woman out there and you share the same type of mindset as she does, I'm sorry to disappoint you or deliver the truth like you don't like to hear. Because the moment a man senses that you are dealing with multiple men at the same time, he's not going to be one of those men of that group anymore. And no, a man is not jealous of a woman's body count. He is not jealous of your career. He's not jealous of your car. He is not jealous of your money.
You see, guys, the truth hurts. But here we're going to speak the truth. And the truth is that most modern women have literally nothing to offer. All right? They have their college degrees, they have their careers, and that's about it. So that's how they assess themselves and they assess value. And they basically turn around and then think that, oh, well, every man, he's going to value me based on, my college degree, based on my credentials. But the average man doesn't give a shit about these things. The average man simply wants a woman who is fit, feminine, and friendly. A woman who will submit and obey. They do not want someone that they're going to have to argue with. They do not want someone who's going to make their life hard. Okay? They want someone who's going to be a team player. They want someone who's going to be obedient. They want someone who's going to listen to them. They want someone who's going to respect them. That's what they're looking for. They are not looking for they're not looking for someone who's going to constantly challenge them. All right? A man does not want a woman who's going to challenge him. I've seen some stupid simps in the comments who say things like, oh, they want a woman who's who's going to challenge them. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Okay? Like, if that's the kind of woman you want, then why are you even here? Why are you even listening to my content? Go out there and find someone in Western society. I didn't say that, angry. In other words, you're saying that you want a masculine woman, but you don't want a masculine woman. No, I want a feminine woman, but I want her to challenge me. Challenge you for what reason? The world isn't challenging you enough, little bro? You see, guys, that's another very important thing to tell you. That's another very important thing to point out. A lot of men invite these problems into their lives. They invite stress into their life. A lot of dudes invite unnecessary problems into their lives. Okay? And you need to avoid being one of those dudes. You have to avoid being one of those dudes. Because it's really a very crappy thing to do to yourself. To constantly invite stress and problems into your life when there was nothing there before, when there were no issues there before. Life is hard enough. Women love chaos. You have to remember that. Women love chaos. They thrive in chaos. Okay? But as men, our entire lives is basically we're essentially at war all the time. So why are we trying to bring more issues onto ourselves, more problems onto ourselves, more stress onto ourselves? It's stupid. It's a very, very stupid thing to do. You need to wake up and realize that we only have so much time here on Earth. Like, we have a very limited amount of time. We have a very limited amount of time to get shit done, to figure things out, and then go from there. It's sad, but it's true. Like, I'm in my 40s now, and no one's gonna waste my time. I don't have, guys, the hell on earth that's coming, everything that's bad that's happening around us. Are you kidding me? I have no time to waste. Because of the way that I grew up, because I grew up during the Gen X generation, I know what pain and suffering is. Because I had the boomers as parents who made my life a living hell. Okay? I know what it means to suffer. All right? These people are guys. The boomers are so terrible. They don't respect your money, but they sure as hell are tight about every nickel and dime. Like these people are insane. These people are insane. Okay, like the boomers, they will happily take money from their adult kids, but sure as hell, like they'll take $100 from you, they'll take $1,000 from you. But if it comes down to like you get even $20 out of these people, you'll see the hell on earth that they will rage. These people were very guys. They grew up in an era, in a time where they became used to spending other people's money. They lived off other people's money. This is how they got by. And now the roosters are coming home to crow. And it's not just coming home for the boomers, it's coming home for modern women. Because, women are born millionaires. They're basically born millionaires. All right. At 18, they become millionaires. And they basically get everything up for front. Everything is essentially free for them. Okay? Everything is essentially free for the typical woman. She lives for free. She lives for free and she has lots of fun. Everything gets bought for her. Everything gets handed to her. And she does this for 10 to 20 years in many cases. But then, after she gets older and men don't want to buy her drinks anymore and and they don't want to pay her bills anymore, now she wants to settle down. And, she's had her heart broken a bunch of times. And maybe even she had some kids with Chad and Tyrone and Poncho. Now she wants to go and settle down and find a good man that is going to support her. And of course, she does not like this man because she's still going to be out there running around with Chad and Tyrone. Okay? She's just looking for a plan B guy that she can use for his utility so she can survive off him and build her life off him. That's the purpose of the plan B guy. The average woman has no conscience about any of this because they basically just see us as disposable utilities. We're there to be used and then discarded of. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. But it's how modern women think because they're told that they're precious. They're told that they're perfect. They're told that they deserve everything. They deserve the world. And no one should ask any questions. No one should say anything different about it. And if they do, then that you're dealing with men who are misogynist. I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. It's sick. It's sick.
You women need to stop thinking that way and work on your femininity. Because a woman publicly admitting that she is dating multiple at the same time used to be a shameful activity back in the day. But since a lot of women are losing touch with traditional values and morals and society celebrates that, you got women out here promoting having a 3 or 4 type life. What is that supposed to tell young women who are watching her content? Women really need to understand that they will never be the winners when it comes to dating multiple men at the same time. And no, it is not like a job. So stop telling women out here that you can actually be a certified 3 or 4. Because when you're a woman and you're dating multiple men at the same time and you think you're doing something right, I'm telling you, you are not, just because of the simple fact that every time you are sleeping with a man, that you are going to take a part of his energy. Being physically active is exchange of energy. So these women are running around totally confused because they carry the energy of so many different Pookies and Ray and Chads and all of these dudes, really harming themselves and doing more damage to themselves than they think. That's why so many end up in a relationship and they are emotionally so damaged, they don't even know where the damage is coming from. It is coming from sleeping with multiple men. Because women nowadays, they don't care about what they do as long as they can do whatever they want. And then when they are ran through, when they have been up and down the streets, they want to get married. They want to get married. They want to be taken care of.
How many children do you have?
3. And 3 baby daddies and they all gangbang.
So what do you want as an outcome?
I want somebody that's loyal. It's really hard to find loyalty nowadays. You really can't find it at the next corner or none of that. Like these men now.
Hold on. Loyal to what end? Like a husband? What are you talking about?
I want a husband. I want to get married, have kids.
Why,
I want to live in a house.
Hold on. You're 39 with 3 children, right?
Yes.
How old is your youngest?
3 years old.
And you want more children?
Of course I do. I really want 6. Is something
Mhm.
wrong with that?
What do you do for a living?
I get EDD.
Hmm.
Is that, I mean,
I don't know what that is.
unemployment?
So you're an unemployed mother of 3 with 3 baby daddies, and you talking about you can't find a man?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's I'm pretty sure God, I want somebody that's going to help me. Like, you don't think that I could
It's
get that?
called Jesus.
I mean, sorry, but you don't think that I can get somebody to help me? You don't think a
Hmm.
man is going to let
It's
me,
called Jesus.
huh?
Jesus.
So basically, you telling me to call on Jesus
Hmm. And a therapist.
and a thing.
You're 39. How many children do you have?
I don't know if it's me or do really some women take it to the next level of delusion. I mean, if I would have 3 kids and I would sit there with 3 different baby daddies, I would ask and question myself. I would question my intelligence. I would question my ability to make decisions. I would question my whole entire life. I'll be thankful for my children, but I'll sit back and say, man, you didn't make this mistake once, not twice, 3 times. And I know they say that the good things come in 3, but baby daddies, I don't think it's one of them. So that's why I believe that a lot of women are delusional. They're delusional because just like this young lady, she's 39 years old, 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. What man in the world will take her? And no, she could not travel to another country, including her kids, and expect another man of another country to take care of them. That's why they didn't like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels would not tell women the things that they want to hear. They would tell women the things that they need to hear. And since a lot of women don't like the truth and they don't like to be told what to do or what they should have done instead, a lot of women didn't like him. They even celebrated that man's death. That's how much they didn't like this man.
And forgive me if I get it wrong, but guys, Kevin Samuels had haters from here all the way to Hollywood. I heard, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think it was like Angela Bassett celebrated when this man passed away. These women threw a celebration on social media, praising Jesus and thanking God that he was gone now. They literally celebrated because this man told them the truth and they hate the truth. This is the guys, women will straight up tell you to lie to them. Like they'll tell you like how do you make a woman happy? Lie to me. Don't tell me the truth. Like remain a mystery and be toxic essentially. Like they've had dating shows where they've had a bunch of guys, and this dude is like, yeah, he's like, if you choose me, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna call you, and I'm gonna basically manipulate you, and I'm gonna leave you wanting more and more and more. But I'm never. It's like you're getting closer and closer, but you'll never actually get me, and you're gonna feel a lot of pain and a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety over me. You're gonna have a lot of heartbreak over me, and then they're like, who do you choose? Do you choose him, like the nice guy? Do you choose the decent guy who basically is like, yeah, I'm a pretty decent guy. I'll always respond to you. I'll be there for you whenever I can be there for you. Or are you gonna choose the toxic guy? And the girl goes, I'm gonna choose the toxic guy. Okay? And why do they do that? Because all women are like that. All women are like that, guys. It's a sad reality that we live in, but it's a reality that we have to learn from, and it's a reality that we have to accept. Also, guys, don't forget to check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse on Substacks. Dive into exclusive podcasts, manosphere topics, and more. Plus, get access to our passive income blueprint, exclusive videos, and guides on building wealth and thriving. We also have a chat where you can reach me directly. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to subscribe now and get your free passive income blueprint. In addition to that, guys, I also want to remind you that you can reach out to schedule some time to talk with me if you want to do a consultation on everything from content creation, cryptocurrency, business development, to dieting, exercise, mental health. I'm available. The link's in the description. Or if you have a video request, you can submit your video request using the link in the description. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Because modern women have brought us to this breaking point, and where modern women are really headed is to a point of despair, destitution, because men are not going to come back. Women are going to find themselves between a rock and a hard place, especially with hyperinflation now. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.